Hi guys, what's up? I hope everybody can hear me. You can see me. If I am live, just let me know. And it's a very important session. Actually, it's been like almost 1 year since I discussed any revision strategy or any kind of strategy whatsoever. And in today's scenario where the things are changing so fast, it is very important that you prepare in the right direction. Okay. And it is a very important class for prelims 2019 in last 50 days. Okay, so exactly on 2nd June 2019 you have the exam. Okay, and roughly 50 days are left in this. Okay, so very important session. Now if you guys are, let us say you are getting less than 50 marks, then in that case in mock test if you are getting 50 marks, अगर 50 marks भी नहीं आ रहे हैं, so then basically you should not go for this kind of an attempt on an average basis if you are getting less than 50 marks, and if you are getting more than 110 120 marks in mock test on an average, so then more or less you will clear the prelims. Okay, so both of these categories of aspirants, you don't have to really worry about any revision strategy or anything at all. But let us say if you are in this bracket where you are getting 60-70 marks in the prelims, in the mock tests, or less than 110, then this will really help you. If you are getting 110 120, it will really does not make any difference. Similarly, if you are getting less than 50 also, it will not make any difference. Okay, so if all of you are ready, so it's a very important session. So and yeah, let us get started. So the first thing which I want you to know or understand here is that you have to make sure that you follow this rule, 12 hours per day at least. Okay, so 12 hours per day is something which you have to follow. It's a mandatory requirement from now on, because since 50 days are left, like roughly 20 days are left in April and 30 days are left in May. Obviously 31 are there, but if we assume 50 days, then in that case if you study for 12 hours a day, it will give you 600 hours. Now 600 hours is a significant amount to basically create a डिफरेंस. इफ़ यू हैव, अगर आपने मेरे पहले वाले सुने होंगे लाइव सेशंस, उसमें जो मैं रिकमेंड करता था दैट वाज अराउंड 6 to 8 hours, एंड दैट इज़ करेक्ट ऑल्सो, बट बिकॉज द कॉम्पिटिशन इज़ very हाई एंड you have just 50 days left, so if you push yourself, I think a 12-day average can be maintained, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday does not really matter. So at least if you can see the difference, 600 500 400 300, it can create a huge difference. Okay, so in the longer run, if somebody is studying for 8 hours a day, you are studying 400 hours and 600 hours, so that is like 1.5 times more study in the same duration. Okay, so I would strongly recommend that maintain an average of 12 hours. If you are not able to do it on a particular day, let us say you fall to 8 hours, so next day try to study for 16 hours and compensate for that. Okay, so this is like a really important point, that 600 hours is something which you should aim towards. Okay, very important point. And those aspirants who are able to focus, last minute revision is something which is like really crucial. Okay, and in this 600 hours, basically just 1 to 2 days, that is around 25 hours, that should go to the CSAT paper 2. Okay, so CSAT paper 2 you should not devote more than 25 hours. Now many people ask me कि भाई CSAT paper 2 में क्या पढ़ें क्या नहीं पढ़ें. So in that case, I would suggest that you basically just go through the question paper from 2011 to 2018. Okay, so if you just solve 8 years question paper, that should be more than sufficient. Okay, so 8 साल के questions कर लेना. There will be around 640 questions in this, so just solve that, and I think it should be more than sufficient. Whatever happens, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, do not basically fall in this limit. Okay, at any point of time. The rule which I followed for myself, and I keep telling all the toppers also, they usually follow, is the 2-digit rule. Okay, so 2-digit rule is something which you should focus upon. At least daily basis pe you have to study for 2 digits. Okay, 2 digits basically means 10 plus. You can't fall into single digit hours. Okay, so double digit hours is something which you have to focus upon. Okay, now this is also like really important. On an average you should solve 1 mock per day, and this is only related to the GS paper 1 mainly. If you are very weak in CSAT paper 2, especially जो students humanities से commerce backgrounds होते हैं, they face some challenges in the CSAT paper 2, so you can just go through 1 mock per day. Okay, for CSAT paper 2 also, but one mock per day in like 50 days is something which everybody can aim towards. So at least 50 mock tests in 50 days is something which you can do on an average. Now you can also solve the already existing ones. So let us say आपने कोई टेस्ट सीरीज ज्वाइन कर रखी है, you have already solved these mock tests, you have 30 of them already, so you can just go through them. Okay, so you can solve them, revise them properly. And our Unacademy Plus, which I will explain you right now, so 10 of them are already there. Okay, so we will launch every Sunday, so you can give those tests, and these are literally the best quality test which you can access as of now, as of this moment. So these tests will give you a very good idea as to where you are standing in the prelims examination. So let us say if you are getting 20, 30, 40 marks, then I would suggest ki don't waste the attempt. And if you are getting 110, 120 marks, then it will give you a strong confidence. So as you can see, so this is the Unacademy Plus. If you go to the Plus, so you have weekly mock test for prelims paper 1 GS, then also for CSAT paper 2, and as you can see, the next test is on the April 14th at 10 a.m. So just 4 days from now, that is the coming Sunday, you can give these tests at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So this is exactly based on the UPSC pattern, and no test series in India can match it, that I can guarantee you. So if you have not part of the Plus subscription, plus apart from that, polity, current affairs, history, geography, even optional courses, you can access all the optional courses, geography, PubAd, etc., economy courses, and environment and ecology courses, and so on and so forth. Everything under the sun, whether it is for prelims, GS, everything is covered. Art and culture, ancient history, modern history, medieval history, everything is covered. And as you can see, lot of best educators of India, a lot of them are teaching, not one or two, like so many of them are here, like Mrinal, Ayush, Jatin, myself, Aarti, Mudit, Deepika. So many of these educators are taking these courses. Okay, so just remember that, and you can just access all these courses. So many people wanted this course. They were saying that how can we access this course? So you can have this full access. So it started on 11th February and it will continue till 9th of May. Okay, so if you enroll in the Plus, so you can access this course completely, and you can watch all the recorded classes as many times as you want. And this is a very, very good course. Mrinal is one of the top faculties in the country. So he has decoded the entire economy. So lot of students, myself included, I was also, मैं काफ़ी weak था economy में. So this is a very, very good course for that. And now many of you are saying कि revision कैसे करें last minute का. So for last minute revision, I would strongly suggest this course by me, 500 most important topics in general studies. तो general studies में क्या होता है, आपका आजकल जो UPSC रेशियो रखती है, दैट इज़ अराउंड 70-30 कई बार होता है, कई बार 80-20 होता है. ओके, तो इफ़ यू सी द लास्ट, आप मान लो 3-4 ईयर्स के क्वेश्चन पेपर, सो जो 70 क्वेश्चन हैं दे कम फ्रॉम द स्टैटिक GS पोर्शन, समटाइम्स 80 क्वेश्चन कम फ्रॉम द स्टैटिक GS पोर्शन. दीज 20-30 क्वेश्चन दे बेसिकली दे विल कम फ्रॉम द कंटेम्प्रेरी इशूज़. ओके, सो जस्ट 20-30 क्वेश्चन विल कम फ्रॉम द कंटेम्प्रेरी इशूज़. बट कई बार UPSC थोड़ा मैडनेस स्ट्रीक आ जाती है, दे इवन गो अप टू 40 क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द कंटेम्प्रेरी इशूज़. ओके, बट नॉट बियॉन्ड दैट. So at least 60-80% of the paper is virtually guaranteed from this static portion, and I will try to finish it off in 23 hours. So just one class have happened, and the second class is right now at 8 p.m. So many of you were asking that how can we enroll, how can we like revise faster. So अगर आपके prelims में मान लो 70-80 marks आ रहे हैं, so this is a very, very good course to improve your performance. Now many of you were also asking कि contemporary issues कैसे cover करें. See, in my time when I was preparing as an aspirant, UPSC used to ask about 1 year current affairs, okay, or contemporary issues. This is an honest reality. So let us say आपका एग्जाम जून 2019 में है, so June 2018 to June 2019 के contemporary issues they will ask you. But now what they have started, basically back breaking moves. So now they have started asking 2 years contemporary issues at least. Okay, so if you are preparing for the June paper, so you have to cover April 2017 to April 2019. Now this will not only help you in basically cracking the exam, it will also help you in the mains exam. It is not just for prelims, it is prelims come mains. So this course also started on March 9th, and this is one of the most important course you will ever attend. We will cover 2 years contemporary issues in this. Okay, so this course will help you to solve those 20-30 questions in the contemporary issue. Also it will really help you in GS paper 2 and GS paper 3 of the UPSC mains. Okay, तो उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प करेगा. सो इफ़ यू, एंड ऑल दीज कोर्सेज आर पार्ट ऑफ दी वन सब्सक्रिप्शन. So there are different plans, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Now most of the aspirants, as you know, I was just going through the data. क्या होता है, president को report submit करना होता है UPSC को. So it is a constitutional mandate of UPSC that they have to mandatorily submit a report to the president. So in that case, basically what they have to do is they have to tell कि भाई attempt कौन सा selection हुआ है, कौन से college से select होते हैं. So you will find that first and second attempt and sixth attempt onwards there is a huge fall. Okay. So first and second attempt and sixth attempt they will combine together make around 20 to 30% of the aspirants. जो 60% aspirants जो select हो रहे हैं they are getting selected in third, fourth and fifth attempt. Obviously before you give attempt you prepare for 1 to 2 years. So if you are not ready for 3 to 5 years of fight, then this exam is not for you. Okay. So if you want to crack it in first attempt, literally the odds are that 8% of the aspirants will crack it. So despite the fact I have cracked it, I know it is a very rare chance. Okay, just 8% chances are there. So I would suggest that you go for this 1 year subscription. It will cost you less than 3,000 a month, and you can use the code Unacademy, as you can see, UNACADEMY, and instead of 35,000 per year, you will just have to pay 31,500. And in this you will get all the courses, GS paper 1, CSAT paper 2. You will get optional courses. You will get test series also. So everything is part of the one subscription. There is nothing else you have to do. But you can also choose 1 month, 3 months, 6 months depending on your requirements. And if you use Unacademy as a code, you will definitely get 10% off. So this will really help you in the last minute revision. Okay. Now as I told you, like my 2 courses are there, contemporary issues is there, and as well as the static GS topic. So let us say we discussed right now that you have to study for 600 hours, right? So this is the Ramban. Okay. इसको पकड़ लेना अच्छे से and focus on 600 hours. That will guarantee that you have the best possible chance of cracking the prelims. But assume that at least 500 hours तो पढ़ लेना. Okay, 15 to 10, 500 hours is something you should go about. So 90% revision. Okay, 90% time of this 600 hours, which means 540 hours, should go into the revision. What do you mean by revision? That you should not learn new topics. Let us say you have completely ignored art and culture till now. आपने लाइफ में कभी बुक ही खोल के नहीं देखी. So this is not the right time to start art and culture. Let us say you have completely ignored space in science and tech. So right now is not a time to study about GSLV and PSLV and sun synchronous orbit and geostationary or geosynchronous में क्या difference होता है. We will not get it. Okay. So it is virtually impossible for you to basically revise it in the last minutes. Okay. So 90% of your time. So if you are studying for 600 hours, 540, otherwise 450 hours should go into the existing content revision. जो भी आपका existing content है, so revise that properly. Okay. Now for contemporary issues, I know भाई हिंदू तो कोई पढ़ता नहीं आजकल the daily basis पे. It is very difficult. Only 5 to 10% aspirants are able to keep up, and many of you might have started your preparation just 6 months ago, but UPSC does not give a damn about it. Brutally honest बता रहा हूँ. So you have to cover from April 2017 till April 2019, and I know it is virtually impossible for you to find those Hindu. वो मिलेंगे नहीं आपको. So this contemporary issue course will try to summarize that. Okay, we will discuss it. It's a 50-hour course roughly. So 50 घंटे में I'll try to cover 2 years of current affairs. Then static GS 500 topics. Okay, so that will also basically will try to cover the most important concepts of art and culture, ancient history, medieval history, science, technology. ये सब कुछ हम cover करेंगे उसमें. So this will help you in this 90% revision. It will give you the best bang for your buck. क्योंकि उसमें if you start reading the Hindu now, so it will create a huge issue. Like it will create a massive issue. So don't start reading the past Hindu now. Okay. Now let us say you are 95% sure. मतलब in every mock test you get around 110, 120 marks. Sometimes you get 150, 160 marks also. Now many people will think I am a fool by saying कि भाई 150, 160 marks रखते हैं. Actually seen the answer copies of lot of toppers. They get 163 marks, 165 marks on a consistent basis. I know one person who has cracked prelims 5 times. Every time he has gotten 163 plus marks. Okay. So if you are that kind of an aspirant who are 100% surety, there is nothing like that in life. Let us say if you are 95% sure that you will crack the prelims, then do not stop it. Okay. Then continue reading the Hindu on a daily basis. Except reading maybe on 1st and 2nd June, you should continue reading, because ultimate aim क्या है? Ultimate aim है IAS officer बनना, IPS बनना. So for that prelims is absolutely nothing. उसका कुछ भी फ़ायदा नहीं होगा. So you have to crack the mains exam, and mains is totally Hindu based, especially GS paper 2 and GS paper 3. So do not stop reading Hindu if you are 95% sure that you will crack the prelims exam. If you are 50 to 60% sure, let us say you get 90, 100 marks in mock test, you are 50-50. You may crack if the exam paper अच्छा आ गया, मान लो flat track मिल जाता है तो people score centuries also. But if the wicket is spinning, then you might not crack it. Then stop reading from 15th May onwards. Is it clear? And if you are not at all sure, then there is no point of reading Hindu at all. You should stop reading it right from the 1st May. So after 30th April, absolutely stop reading it, because the odds of coming questions from that is very low, and you will end up spending 2 to 3 hours every day. I don't want you to read the Hindu if you are not at all sure about it. Okay, so do not throw it away. This is also very very important. पता चला हिंदू बाहर फेंक दी, वो मत करना. So save them. Okay, so save the newspapers. It will help you, because in mains the GS paper 2 and GS paper 3, especially GS paper 3 completely comes from the contemporary issues except a few questions. Okay, now another way to revise these contemporary issues, because last 3-4 saal se, in my time in 2013 prelims when I cracked the exam, so they had asked just 2 to 3 questions. Okay, so it was absolutely nothing. Even if you don't read the Hindu forever and ever, you will be able to crack that exam. But sometimes UPSC becomes mad, they ask 30-40 questions also. Okay, especially from government exam scheme, they can ask 10 questions also from government exams. So you can't trust UPSC. So 10 MCQs daily, so solve from April 2019 till April of 2018. Okay, so I have created these courses, they are available on my profile. So reverse जाना, ठीक है. So start from April 2019. Right now 10 MCQs are done. 10th April आज. Then go reverse. Okay. So then March, then April, then January. Okay. So March, February, January, December. And if you have more time, then solve from April of 2018 till April of 2017. ठीक है. So this is very very important. I hope you understood it. April 2019 से April 2018 में. So every day I solve 10 MCQs. So if you solve for 365 days, that will give you an advantage of roughly 3650 MCQs. If you solve it for 2, so it will give you roughly around 7300 MCQs. Okay. So this is a good bunch, and if you solve 7300 MCQs, at least if 0.1% MCQs also come from this, so that will be 7 to 8 questions, which can make or break your career. Okay, 7 to 8 is a huge margin in UPSC, where the cutoff is around 100 marks, 100 to 110 के बीच में vary करता है. So that is a huge margin. Okay, if you can solve 7 or 8. Okay. Now this is उन बच्चों के लिए खास करके important है जो कि दूसरे एग्जाम की प्रिपरेशन करते हैं. ठीक है. सी इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर एसएससी, इफ यू प्रिपेयर फॉर बैंकिंग, रेलवेज, दैट इज़ फाइन. ठीक है, उसमें कोई इशू नहीं है. नो ऑफेंस टू एनी एग्जाम, बट यूपीएससी इज़ अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम ऑल टुगेदर. आप समझ रहे हो. सो इट्स अ टोटली डिफरेंट एग्जाम. इट रिक्वायर्स 100% ऑफ योर अटेंशन. बेस्ट पीपल अक्रॉस द कंट्री, IIM ग्रेजुएट्स, IIT ग्रेजुएट्स, एम्स, डॉक्टर्स, लॉयर्स, DUs, CS, सब इस कॉम्पिटिशन में आते हैं. ठीक है, एवरीबडी, एग्रीकल्चर ग्रेजुएट्स, DU, PU, सबसे आते हैं. सो इफ़ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर एनी अदर एग्जाम, then you are digging your own grave. ठीक है. Obviously you can crack both the exams, I am not denying it, but here this entire session is about how to maximize your chance of cracking the prelims. So if you are preparing for, let us say, upcoming SSC or banking, or you are getting busy with your some graduation exams, like I was doing graduation at my time, so वो सब मत करना. Okay, if you are preparing for some post graduation exam, masters, etc., so don't do that. Otherwise you will end up wasting your attempt, and there are only limited attempts in UPSC. More than attempt, you will feel underconfident, आपका पूरा साल वेस्ट हो जाएगा. You will end up wasting time, money, lot of resources, and odds basically of coming out of that are low. So do not prepare for any other exam at all. Strong warning. If you are thinking कि मैं SSC भी क्रैक कर लूँगा, बैंकिंग भी क्रैक कर लूँगा, UPSC भी क्रैक कर लूँगा, स्टेट PSC भी क्रैक कर लूँगा, it usually does not happen that way. Focus 100% on UPSC. Once the prelims is done, then think about anything else. Single-minded, ruthless, monomaniacal focus is needed here. Okay, otherwise you will not be able to crack this exam. I am telling you, luck से किसी का भी हो जाएगा. But if you really want to have a good chance at it, don't prepare for any other exam. Okay. Now, as you know, if you are living in Delhi, there are a lot of distractions, there are a lot of stressors, there are 50 other things to do. So I would suggest that UPSC is already a huge stressor. Okay, many of the aspirants are in perpetual depression, anxiety, stress, pressure, insomnia. These are very common problems just because of one exam. Okay, so don't add up on these stressors. Don't worry too much about other problems. Right now is not a time. For next 50 days, avoid any interaction, avoid all the problems. See, if you want not to crack the UPSC exam, then take as many stressors as you want, but let UPSC alone be your single most biggest stressor. That 2nd June को 9:30 बजे क्या होगा, that should be the only stressor in your life. Okay, as you know, there are 50 other distractions, there are personal life, family life, relations, there are so many other things. I would strongly advise that UPSC alone used to make me stressed and anxious all the time. I was hardly like happy during the preparation. Okay, it's very painful cycle. You know, you have to study 12 hours a day. So ये 12 hours a day होता है, इसमें just follow this technique to avoid any stressor. This technique used to work for me. You can just rub your palms and you can just put it on your eye and you can just press it inside and you can rotate it clockwise, anti-clockwise. 30 seconds it works. Otherwise, never study for more than 50 minutes. Okay, now many there is a stupid myth going on that you have to study for 3-4 hours and a go. So that does not work really. So 50 plus 10 rule is something you can follow, or you can follow 25 plus 5 rule. So let us say if you want to study for 1 hour, just take 50 minutes of study and take a break for 10 minutes. It's perfectly fine. Count it in your study time only, and you can even break it down to 25 plus 5. So this is what used to work for me. It works for everybody. It's scientifically proven that your brain literally cannot focus at 3 to 4 hours on a stretch. If you don't take a break, your brain will automatically take a break. Is it clear? So if you do not take a break, your brain will automatically take a break. So rather than forcing your brain to take a break and think about कि movies जाना है, फिर आज dinner करना है या housecarls जाना है and all that, so why not you take a break on your own? Okay, so 50 plus 10 means 50 minutes of study, 10 minutes of break. 25 plus 5 means 25 minutes of study and 5 minutes of break. You can do a lot of things. You can take a walk, you can listen to music, but avoid calling people, okay, because this 5 minutes can become 50 minutes and 2 hours also. That would I would strongly avoid. Now do not change any habit at all. Okay, so this is very important. Right now is not a good time to change any habit. For example, you should not start gymming, you should not start like doing yoga and swimming and all these things. You should not start to quit smoking or alcohol. These are right now, it's not a very good time to change any habit, because as I told you should not take any stressor except maybe sleeping, because like I always used to sleep at around 5-6 a.m. in the morning, sometimes 9 a.m. in the morning, and then I used to wake up at 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. That used to work for me, but unfortunately that messed me up in the exam, because exam hota hai 9 to 5, 9:30 to 4:30, so that will mess you up. So try to sleep early, start sleeping early matlab 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 1 a.m. tak, and try to wake up at 7 a.m. because the exam will not change according to your sleep cycle. Okay, and then you have the CSAT paper 2. So this is also very important. See, person like me who is getting 183, 184 marks, there are better person than me also, they get 190 marks out of 200. So उनको पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Absolutely, you can just totally leave it. But there are a lot of people who crack the paper 1 and they don't crack paper 2, and nothing can be more sad about that fact कि भाई आपका मतलब आपने पूरी जान लगा कि पेपर 1 क्रैक कर दिया, और जो स्टूपिड था CSAT पेपर 2 था, which is just merely qualifying, you just have to get 67 marks out of 200, वो क्रैक नहीं हुआ. So don't ever do that. Okay, so give 1 to 2 days at least in this exam and solve since 2011. बस last 8 years क्वेश्चन कर लेना, that should be more than sufficient. Do not ignore it 1 to 2 days because you might regret it later. Okay, and finally it is only a strength only time. Okay, it's not weakness only time. What do I mean by that? आप पूछोगे ये strength only time क्या होता है? So let us say your art and culture is like really weak. काफ़ी लोगों का होता है. Let us say your medieval history is really weak. काफ़ी लोगों का होता है. Right now is not the time to convert them into strength. Okay, 50 days is a very less time. 1 to 2 days will go into the CSAT paper 2. 50 mock test करना है, contemporary issue courses हैं, so many tests you have to give. You don't really have time. So there is very less time left now, and do not focus too much on weaknesses. Okay, so yeah, so this was about it, and do check out the courses on Unacademy Plus. You can subscribe, and if you want 10% off, so you can just use Unacademy. Okay, so just apply Unacademy as a code and you will get 10% off. So I hope this session was helpful to you, and I sincerely hope that जिसके 70-80 marks आ रहे थे, they crack the exam after listening to me. And thank you, and I'll see you on Unacademy Plus, and I'll take some more sessions. If you have any suggestion, you can just reply in the comments. Thank you.